Now rope and duct tape. What the hell's she doing?
I'm so sweaty. Can you do this for me?
So what is Bayley doing here?
Who knew? Not only a role model, but a weapons expert.
Still don't quite know what she was trying to do.
Bayley.
And Bayley now again.
Another one. No, there's the double kendo stick.
Shut up, Michael. They know. They watch me.
Bayley.
And now Belair punches right through the kendo stick.
Welcome everyone to Bell. This is DS.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
And for the popular demand, we brought our favorite guest, Logan Dash.
Hi, I'm back.
You got the whole muscle, sexy friend vibe going on.
Yeah, as Oscar would say, it's a sexy muscle friend. I'm trying to be the third member, one that won't fall at WrestleMania.
We are all here for the Hell in a Cell review, and we've got 4 women's matches. And Paloma, you said something very interesting.
It is the first time ever in history that in a pay-per-view there's more women's matches than there are men's matches.
Oh, yay!
I'm really happy that they didn't make a big deal about it. I mean, I feel like Stephanie will jump on every opportunity to come out when it comes to women's wrestling and make a huge speech about how it's all like, thanks to me or something like that. I mean, she did obviously have a part in it, but I really do like that they didn't make a big deal about it, because what I'm looking for women's wrestling is whenever it's no longer the first ever, it's no longer a big deal, where it's the norm and where it's actually like an equal playing field. So this is awesome. I think this is definitely a step forward, and it's great to see. So yay, I'm excited.
So starting from our kickoff match, we got this match added like an hour before the show or something like that. We've got Natalya versus Mandy Rose in a singles match. First of all, I have to say, Mandy Rose looked so good.
So good.
She did. She looked really pretty. I thought Dana looked really good too, in terms of look, but also, like, what did you guys think of her performance? I thought she kind of really held her own against Natalya. To my surprise, when I found out it was going to be a one-on-one match and not a tag team match, I was just like, next, whatever. But it was actually really good. I was thoroughly impressed with Miss Rose.
I think this is the best she's looked inside the ring and outside of the ring, by her gear, how she looked, and definitely I was really impressed too, because I was kind of like, well, this is kind of a random match thrown together, and I was like, you look, and I was just like, oh, okay, but then I was like, oh, okay, Mandy, all right, there you go. Definitely was able to hang with one of the best and most veteran women's wrestlers in WWE right now. It was great to see, but I will say this is probably the most stupid reason to be having a feud, to have a storyline. I mean, I'll take it, but to be saying like, you were too loud during my photo shoot, or you were training during my photo shoot, like, that's my only real gripe about this, was that.
I agree. I think the feud is stupid and it's very redundant, because if we want to rewind a little bit back, Natty was with a team with Lana who was all about social media this and presence, and just like, you guys are like more concerned about your image, and I'm like, bitch, so were you not so long ago. But all in all, it was a good match. But the storyline is kind of...
I kind of did not care for this match. Maybe I agree that this was the best showing from Mandy. That doesn't say much.
No.
I think the storyline they were trying to tell in this match was that Natty is like, she's a mat wrestler, and then Mandy was trying to show that, oh, I could hang in there with you with the mat style wrestling. And so I guess it kind of like she was able to hang. But was I intrigued? Was this a pay-per-view worthy?
That's why it was on the pre-show.
I really liked it.
I enjoyed it too.
I don't want to say, oh, it's because the expectations were low. It's not that. I mean, but I just felt like all I kept on seeing from Mandy for a while was that knee that she keeps on doing over and over again, which she does well. But I'm glad that she is able to expand what she can do more. That like missile drop kick from the top rope was impressive too. I was like, oh, okay. So I really enjoyed the match. I actually thought it was better than one of the matches on the pay-per-view.
Oh, that bar is pretty low too, so I'm like, just kidding. I was a little confused, first of all, why it was a singles match. Because it was a singles match, I thought this was to give Mandy a win over one of the champs without making the champion team look weak. But then Mandy lost anyway. But they're the only contenders they have, so if their only challengers keep looking weak, I don't know where they're going with this.
It's literally the same type of booking like it was when Shayna and Nia were champions. It's like no one is able to get over on the tag team champs. But then they keep firing everybody, so it's just like, what are we doing?
Let's hope that the Sexies, they definitely up their visual game, but I just want to see more from them in the ring. And I'll just say this is a start, but I want to see more. And if you think about it, Mandy's been in this company for a very long time. Same goes for Dana Brooke. I have high expectations for that. I mean, they're veterans, I'll say. They're veterans.
I would like to see more. Like I've been saying, like the women's tag team titles, I would like to see more, but like, I don't know, more juicier storylines. Like I don't want to see y'all fight over who's being loud over my photo shoot. Give me something else, please.
Let's move to the main card, because the opening match was the Hell in a Cell match. The SmackDown Women's Championship versus Bianca Belair and Bayley. And I think Bianca's outfit was so good.
So cute.
I
Loved it.
orgasmed when she came out. I did the little gay boy scream. I was like, ah! Like, she's flaming. Not only was there a reference there, look, it's Pride Month, I'm taking it. She had like the cute little ombre sunset glitter lip. Are you kidding? I couldn't. I was just like, I was out. And the braid seemed a lot longer than it normally is, if you guys didn't catch that. I noticed that. I was just like, she's gonna do some tricks with this braid. When the braid's a lot longer, in a match like this, I was waiting for it. I was like, bring on the chick.
I didn't notice that when she first came out. I think I noticed it more in the ring. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, it is looking a little bit longer. And then as the match went on, I'm like, oh, that's why it's looking a little bit longer. Can we just point out that Logan's wearing inches too? I just want to point out.
Oh yeah, I have to give it to you. They're a little trying to hit my booty too, you know, at least. Hers is down to her ankles, but I can get there.
I just love Bianca's looks all the time just because I respect the hell of her because she makes it. I can't even sew a button, so I would suck at design challenges. Like, give me some hot glue gun, I'll be that person. I think that's really cool, awesome skill to have that I feel like more wrestlers should have. Speaking for myself, obviously. Bayley looked really, really good too. Like, she's evolving, tweaking her look, like little by little. That like funny caricature picture t-shirt that she had of her. Couldn't figure out what it was at first. But I'm like, oh, I get it now.
I love that art piece she's wearing, but also just the hair. I almost get like an unhinged, delete Matt Hardy vibe. I love it. I want to hear from Logan because we have, when Bayley just turned heel, we had some controversial episode. But Logan, what do you think of the evolution of Bayley since then?
I hate to admit it, but it's really grown on me. I mean,
Yes.
like, it's grown on me. Like, character is really and fully evolved now. It's hilarious. I really think she hits the mark every single time. Even though she's obviously putting Bianca over right now, but it's still like putting herself over. Really, really cool. And obviously she is undeniably a great performer in the ring. The character now, and the look. I don't think the look as bad started. Like, I love the crimped hair. I love the bob.
I am such a big fan of the evolution of Bayley. She's so amazing. But let's start talking about this match because this match was freaking... Like, it was amazing.
It opened the show. If you're on a wrestling card, you either want to be the first match or the last match on the card. Because if you open the show, you're the first match, you set the tone, you set the pace for the rest of the show. And I think they actually did a great job of it. And I was actually a little like worried about it because we've seen some amazing Hell in a Cell matches with Sasha and Bayley, and they still delivered. It was great. But I think the thing that stood out the most was how it started off the show and how they could still be creative, because there have been so many creative spots with the kendo sticks, especially with Sasha and Bayley and all the cool different things that they did. I'm like, what else could they possibly do? And they still managed to pull out some new different spots that we haven't seen before.
I love that this match started with like the chair versus hair. It rhymes and it started out really cute. It just became a lot about the hair. It was almost like, let's see how creative you can be with the hair, because there was all hair stuck on the rope, hair on the wrist, hair everywhere. It was a hair fest. I freaking loved it.
I was thoroughly impressed. I was off my feet the whole time. What was really cool, yeah, the theme was hair. Like I said, it was longer. They did so many innovative tricks with this, and I feel like the hair, if you really think about it, you're probably like, oh, how much can you do with hair? Like, how much further can you take the hair gimmick? And they're taking it, like, to the next level every single time. Like, just like taunting Bayley, like spinning it and being like, you want this? Like, this is what you're obsessed with? Hitting her with it. It was just like amazing. And they like really like gave it their all. I thought this match was going to go to something like Charlotte and Rhea just because of the vibe and everything that they've done. And Bayley did this last time. So I was like, maybe they're going to go to something else. But no, like they really showed out and really were like, no, this is where the match should be, because it was kind of unexpected. Like the way she was like, I want to meet you in the cell, and I was like, okay, there it is. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for one of the women's matches to announce that it was going to be in the cell. So for it to open the show and for it to kind of set the bar for the whole show, like no match kind of lived up to it after that.
This match was like so much better than their first match, because first match was good, but I think I left that match wanting more. And what makes Bianca Belair so special is her superhuman strength and the hair. And they definitely use every bit of that hair amazingness. It definitely made this match stand out from all the Hell in a Cell matches that we had, which is definitely a big feat. On top of that, she showed her super strength. When she threw that chair onto Bayley, it's almost like, I'm gonna kill you tonight. It was like crazy.
I do have to say that I love that Bianca wrestles really well, like from the bottom. Like she's always like, you know, trying to catch up and playing the underdog, and she always like hits that stride of like that hope spot, and you want her to come back, and she does really well of wrestling almost from behind. But also that kind of reminds me of like, how much more can you do that though? How much more can she still be the underdog yet be the champion at the same time, you know? Because she is like the underdog, you know, coming from a non-wrestling background and just being thrown into it. But I kind of feel that kind of contradicts with her being champion. That would be a good storyline if she wasn't champion, or she wasn't champion yet. And I get it, it's really relatable, and how she said like, oh, nobody has ever like laughed in my face like that. What left me wondering after this match, after like, oh wow, this is a really good match and I enjoyed it, is like, what's next for both of them?
I think for Bayley's credit, she definitely brought the threat. Because Bianca being the EST, the strongest, the smartest, it's difficult to make her into an underdog. But I think Bayley just really, her character just being unhinged brought so much threat. And the fact that she just wrestled in Hell in a Cell last year, wasn't it like end of last year or something like that? So the fact that she just wrestled in the cell, that kind of veteranness brought a lot of threat into the match, which I really like the dynamic. And the freaking callback of bringing the kendo stick duct tape moment. If you remember last year, she was like trying to do it during the match. It did not work. This time she sat home, she like duct taped 2 kendo sticks and she brought it. I loved it.
Very, very innovative.
Totally. And I also love the callbacks that Bayley kept on telling to Michael Cole. Like Michael Cole's like, only just 12 months ago, if you remember. And then, shut up, Michael Cole. They know, they watch me. There was a lot of good callbacks, like you guys were saying, of like, oh, like, hey, this has actually happened before. And like, just Michael Cole and Bayley banter is actually quite hilarious.
I'll miss that out of all the pandemic era.
Literally, I'm gonna miss everyone picking on Michael Cole because they can hear him.
That finish of like KOD into the ladder when the ladder just clapped.
Oh yeah, I was nervous. I was just like, her face is now. It's just like, it has to be fucked. And she literally was fine. I was just like, how did they do that? That was amazing.
That's the one bump that I've never taken, is a ladder bump or even done a ladder match. I totally would. But that's one that I know would hurt. Like, no matter how you slice it, that shit's gonna hurt, like, no matter what. So the fact that even Bayley was down to take the KOD on the ladder, I think says a lot to Bayley. Bianca is a badass. I'm wearing a headband. It says badass, see? I think that just, like, showed it and proved it even more. And I think, like I said, that's like a big, scary bump. And I'm pretty sure she didn't have to do it, but she wanted to do it to help, you know, Bianca get over even more. But that was a really good finish to a really solid match where they each brought it. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little hesitant about Bianca bringing it in this match because she's an athlete. So I feel like she wouldn't want to necessarily put her body through unnecessary bumps if she didn't have to, because as an athlete, you want to take care of your body. You want to make sure you don't take any unnecessary risk. And she's like a really top tier Division 1 athlete. So I feel like that kind of goes all against what her training was. So I think now she's kind of really switching over to like wrestler mode, and like, you know, you do have to put your body on the line for entertainment or for whatever the spot calls. So she definitely impressed me and by far exceeded my expectations of willing to not only give crazy moves, but definitely take some of her own too.
That stare down where Bayley was literally just like inching, like, get away from me. Like, it was so good that, like, I look at Bayley and I'm just like, ooh, I feel bad for you. I never feel bad for you, but I feel bad for you now. Like, you just got embarrassed again.
What I'm really excited about is Bianca's portfolio. The way she's building her portfolio from Royal Rumble winning to that amazing historic WrestleMania win to this amazing stipulation match. Hell in a Cell is like one of the most, it's a highlight match. So for her to have these amazing matches in her portfolio, I love where her career is going. I just can't wait to see where it just goes to because she's a star.
Would you guys like to see her stay babyface or like a heel turn for Bianca, something you'd be interested in seeing too?
I'm so down for it.
For sure. Because I would love to see her be champion as a heel, because I think that's actually her best work. I mean, and as much as people say that her character could be a face, which obviously she can't, she's doing it, but it just screams heel. Like, and you can do even more and go for it. But I like the idea. Probably not anytime soonish down the line, for sure.
Yeah, because I remember in NXT, and I was like, I really enjoyed her as a heel. She did War Games and all that stuff. I really was like, this is the Bianca I think I really love.
I have no doubt she'll be amazing heel, but she can also do face, which is a great sign because most people suck as face. So I like it. I love this.
True.
Let's go to a spooky town. Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler.
I think out of the 4 women's matches, this is probably my least fave. One thing notably to say, I like to see Alexa wrestling more. It's cool. I was like, she hasn't wrestled a physical match like this again, especially against somebody like Shayna, in a very long time. So that was cool to see her kind of get her chops in again. But like that was it. That was really it. Like, I don't know. I guess like the way they've been hyping up the character with her gimmicks and kind of her supernatural forces, I was expecting a little bit more than her to just kind of take over Nia's body and have him like slap Reggie. And that was it. You know, I was expecting more cinematic. I was like, kind of go for it. This is probably one of your last big pay-per-views in the dome. So where's the lights? Is the lights gonna come off? Where's the trick?
Where's the squid ink? Where's the fireball? Where is everything?
Where is everything that she's been doing in the past 6 months? Where is it?
I just want to give a clap to WWE for being able to have one of the most legit badass people, regardless of gender, on the roster that can literally kick anybody's ass look so damn weak. That's impressive. How do you do that? How do you make a legit badass like Shayna, who can literally, like, shoot, probably kick anybody's ass, 90% of the people on the roster's ass, look so dumb and so weak and so, like, really, y'all? Like, you could do so much more. And also, can we just talk about Alexa's superpower about hypnotizing people? Why wouldn't you just, like, hypnotize your opponent to lay down?
Bingo. I was like, why? Where is it?
You're gonna go for it. Go there. Go for it. If it's gonna be dumb and campy, be dumb and campy. Like, be like the most dumb and campy you can be. This should have been a cinematic match. Like, that's the only way all the kind of ridiculous, corny things could have actually played out for the better, is to have a cinematic match. And it would have been awesome to see women have a cinematic match. It's gonna be the last time in the Thunderdome, so why not? They should have leaned into it even more. I don't think they were gonna lean into it enough. Just go for it, go balls to the wall, go all crazy, like Papa Shango, Ultimate Warrior style, everything. But it was disappointing. I don't know what's going on. Also, who's a heel? Who's a face?
That's the same problem with like Charlotte Rhea's situation. I guess they like don't want to. But the other thing is, okay, Alexa, her power set has changed because she used to again throw fireball. She made people puke ink. But now that live audience is coming back, she magically has this new power set that is, I guess, easier to do in front of live audience, I guess. I don't know.
Makes a lot of sense.
But at least give me some like light flickering or something. It was just so underwhelming. And the thing is, when Shayna and Alexa first started doing the joint manipulation, I was like, you know what, this is actually kind of genius because Alexa has that double joint. Then Shayna is like a master of joint manipulation. So I was like, oh my god, if they actually use it well, this could be actually a great match. But I don't think they ever went there to show weird joint situation, right? So Shayna overall never looked really menacing in this match. In turn, that also didn't make Alexa's superpower look that powerful either.
From somebody who was so diabolic and had this extreme power over making The Fiend lose his match at WrestleMania to this, it's just like, what's going on? She's losing her powers, though. She ain't that strong. It's a fluke. Like, it just really just kind of, like, threw me off a little bit, especially from, like, the last program of them kind of stalking Shayna. Her whole running into the mirror, screaming. Like, you could do all that, but then in the ring, you kind of let it down. Hey, we got a lot of DDTs in this one.
And you know what? I love spooky shit. I love superhero stuff. I love watching Loki and WandaVision and like learn all about the mythology and like the references, all that. I eat that up. And the thing is, with Alexa Bliss character, I do see it, but they don't really have the set mythology explained. It's just nothing's there for me to grab onto and be rewarded. So that's why it seems so silly.
Alexa is doing a great job of what her character work with what she's given, though. I will say that. Like, I do agree with you. It's not really flushed out all the way or like really like in depth or like really like something to hold on to, but she's doing a great job with what she has. You could tell she's like kind of like getting a little bit more into it and all that stuff, but I'm also with her, like, what happens now? Like how you said, maybe she's getting like diminishing her powers. Maybe the Fiend comes back and takes her powers back. I don't know, like in Space Jam with the whole ball, like he's gonna pass her a basketball and then suck out all the powers. It's gonna be in the basketball.
What?
It's a Space Jam crossover.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she's just gonna go back to being the goddess, and then that's it. And then we're gonna never hear about this again.
Remember when Angelina Love was like either drugged or like under a spell over winter in TNA?
I totally forgot about that, but now that you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen.
I want Shayna to be like that with Alexa. I feel like that would be kind of cool.
I'm down for it. Super random side note, I really love the TikToks that Nia Jax and Reginald do with Shayna in the background.
Like she's like their menacing little sister or something that like can't get it together.
I want to do it.
I guess Nikki Cross is a superhero now. So what's going on?
Now apparently Nikki Cross being a superhero and that match, it was such a missed opportunity for a cinematic match, and I'm pretty bummed out about it. Mandy Rose and Natalya was way better than this match.
I agree.
Wasn't a lot better though.
It lasted longer.
So the next match we're going to talk about is a Raw Women's Championship match between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. And apparently Charlotte was trying to wear like a Maleficent outfit. Did you see that social media post?
I did. It was super cute.
Too.
She should wear it out.
I wonder who told her like, girl, that's a bad idea. Take that horn off.
She's really into Disney villains right now.
Which villain's next?
Jafar.
Ah!
I don't know.
It's the first one that I thought of. Ursula?
Ursula could be cute.
The Wicked Witch from Snow White. I'd love to see her all haggard.
That will be nice. That will be nice. If she does Captain Hook, I think Frankie Monet will be a little mad about that because she wears that sometimes. What do we think of this match? Before the finish, let's talk about the finish. I think the match started out pretty cool. Charlotte Flair like took that champion belt and like attacked Rhea Ripley right away. From last week's segment, like brawling to this, I think they have the intensity for sure. I think the chemistry is great between them too.
I agree. I think this is a match that they really kind of threw everything. Kind of like just gave it their all. Like they really put their bodies on the line, kind of like what we were talking about with Bianca. But I feel like Charlotte was really giving it her all, which kind of made Rhea really give it her all too. And I don't know if there was an agreement, like, hey girl, me up. I don't care. Like I don't care. Like let's give them a show, you know. Because sometimes I feel like there has to be that agreement, because like sometimes these bumps, I'm like, ooh, that one was a little rough. But it was, like you said, a very, very strong start. Nothing short of what I thought we would see, though.
I thought it was a really good match. I definitely do agree they do have really good chemistry. I think they kind of like bring out the best out of each other, because I do think that Charlotte sees a little bit of herself in Rhea, and I think that's like even said in their little video package beforehand. But I also do like the psychology of the match itself. Like I love matches that start off hot. Like, if they've been feuding, they're really angry, why would you lock up? Like, if you're really mad at somebody, you're not going to be like, hey, let's lock up first. No, I love matches that start off hot. If you see, like, my matches, I never lock up. I think it's actually kind of dumb. And actually, everybody else in the card is going to lock up, so I never lock up. And it makes it stand out. It's like, oh, okay, it's that kind of fight. All right, cool, let's go. And I also did like that Charlotte worked Rhea's leg the whole time, because going back to what her finish is the figure 8. So why wouldn't you? Yes, that makes perfect sense on why you would work her leg. So everything in the match made sense. Everything looked good. Everything looked crisp. Sometimes Charlotte looks too good in the ring, especially in that moonsault. Like in the moonsault, like almost too good, where like most of the time it doesn't hit them because she lands it too good.
Every time she's like a cat.
Now she does like one more moonsault that Andrade does, which I really like.
It's too good. Like you're supposed to land on them. You're supposed to take them out, not like be this amazing creature of athlete and be able to land on your feet every time. Damn, girl.
What did you think of Rhea's selling of the leg? She was like, ah!
So precise with everything she does going after.
She was acting like her legs are getting chopped off.
Oh yeah, at first I was just like, wait, what happened? I was just like, where's she hit? I was just like, the leg, her leg, her leg. And then they were like, oh, the bad knee. I'm like, she has a bad knee? What? Like my girl. You're like, when did this happen? Fill me in. Like, well, where was the point? Like, what pressure point?
Point to this doll where it hurts.
Like, show me.
We have to talk about that one kick. Or two kicks that landed on the air.
The air was the shit out of it.
The adrenaline was rushed and she was just throwing moves up there.
Playing like SmackDown versus Raw, but I'm just keep pressing one. It's a human glitch. It happened. Remember that?
Remember what? Tell me. I like it when you bring up random stuff.
Whenever I talk about human glitch, I always think of that.
The first time I watched that Vine, I watched it like literally 50 times over and over again, trying to figure out what the hell this person was saying.
Recently, Joey from our channel became famous for human glitch too.
Are you sleeping well? Any delusions ever, or a blurred vision?
Yeah, I thought that was Charlotte's human glitch moment. It always happens, so let's be nice to her.
People like superstars like.
Okay, but let's talk about the finish. What did you think?
I knew it. At first I thought Charlotte was going to get so mad and like, I don't know, slap her with a chair or something. I didn't think it would be real though.
But like that, like I guess having a DQ finish, but like that really, like there's been matches where people are literally put through the table, through an announce table, and the ref is like, oh, that's fine. But Rhea like flings the thing and ding ding ding, disqualification. Like what? Like come on. Obviously they did this to continue the storyline of so because this is not gonna be their last match, but they really couldn't have came up with any other way to do that. Besides that, like, I don't know what they're doing with this, but sometimes when they keep on making them lose or they get counted out, it makes them look dumb. Like they don't know the rules of wrestling or they don't know what they're doing and stuff like that. Especially like really again, but it just didn't look like how they're trying to portray, even though I don't know what the hell they're trying to portray either. But I hated the finish. It was dumb.
I feel like I get what they're trying to convey with the finish, but I just don't think it was executed properly. I do think that the story or the moral behind it is that Rhea is studying what Charlotte would do.
Lesson 1.
You're right. Remember, because then like kind of the finish, she was just like, oh, you're getting good, bitch. Like just, you can see Charlotte mouthing that to her, like you're learning or something like that.
You're learning, bitch.
They're trying to make it seem like Rhea studies and like, she's always one step ahead of the queen.
I actually really like that storyline, to be honest, of like, Rhea learning from how dirty Charlotte is, which is a great storyline. I would love to see that actually happen on Raw, but that never happened, I feel like.
It's like we know what they're trying to do, but they're not giving it to us.
Right. So when Charlotte was like, lesson 1, lesson 2, I was like, I like it, but why was this not on TV? But also, I think the problem is, this is a problem with WWE where they don't want either one of them to look weak. And by doing this DQ finish, it ends up again making both of them look dumb.
Like they're that in love with each other. Like you forget about the rules of wrestling. It's just like you guys are that into this match. You guys are that into your feelings that you forget that you're being counted out.
And again with this one, who's heel, who's face? Neither of them look sympathetic. They're both like honestly, if you're just watching it from a character arc standpoint, like neither of them are sympathetic at all. They're both kind of shitty. Like, obviously not shitty wrestlers, but like shitty characters.
Yeah.
Like they have like, why would I want to get behind either one of them? They're both mean and cheating and doing all this stuff, and neither of them are being sympathetic. And I wonder how that's gonna play out when they're in front of a crowd too, because like now I feel like they can definitely get away with that because obviously there's no live reaction. But I wonder how that's gonna play out when there's actual fans there.
And I wanted Nikki Cross to be in this so that, there will be a face in this storyline, but now that Nikki's a super Nikki, she's a freaking superhero, so what the f. But one silver lining from this is that Charlotte Flair is not going to be in the Money in the Bank match, because that's the only one shiny thing that she hasn't had yet, so I was like, okay, she's going to go for the bank next, but thankfully she's not going to be in the Money in the Bank match, so someone like, hopefully Naomi and Liv Morgan will have Money in the Bank.
As of yet, don't count Charlotte out. I feel like Charlotte could be thrown in. She can literally lose the match to Rhea and then literally go to management, probably butter up to Sonya Deville.
I kind of wish that Eva Marie didn't lose. on Raw. I kind of wish that they would have kept her, that she would have gone to Money in the Bank and been like the biggest heel ever and won without even wrestling. But hey, she lost.
Yeah, that whole thing was weird. Like, Doudrop, they already split, so I don't know what's going on there. What a quick storyline. They were teamed up last week. They're already done. Dang.
2 months worth of storylines in 2 weeks. I do hope that once the fans come back, Rhea regains that edge. I kind of feel like she's been too produced right now, and she is trying to like look like a badass. I mean, she looks the part, but I don't know. It's just like I'm not really connecting with her as much as I was in NXT, for example. Like, I don't know, and I couldn't even really pinpoint of what's missing or what's wrong, but I just hope like I could kind of get that reconnection again, even if she is still a heel or whatever she is, I don't know, when the fans do come back. This match would have been so much better with another finish. A bad finish almost not ruins a whole match, but that's what people remember, because I've had plenty of matches where the matches are not that good, but the finish worked out great, and that's honestly what people will remember. They're not going to forget that you actually botched the spot in the middle of the match. They're going to remember the finish. So if you pull off a good finish and not the best match, it's still salvageable. But this one is like a good solid match with the shitty finish can definitely put a sour taste in for the rest of the match. So come on, can I say it now? What's the point of this finish? Oh my god.
Thank you so much for watching our Hell in a Cell review, where we had 4 women's matches and 1 women's match we love. Actually, 2. I think you guys really liked the kickoff match, so 2 women's matches we love. 50% success rate, amazing. Logan, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Logan Zapp.
And I heard you're having your own show in Chicago.
I do. I had a show started in 2020 and Corona took it away. But it is coming back. It is going to be coming back August 1st at Subterranean, in the basement of Subterranean. And we could find.
And Paloma, where can we find you?
You can find me at Logan Zazz's show that I'm totally gonna go check out.
Yes.
You can also find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter, and Paloma Star here on YouTube, because I have been keeping up with uploading all my matches, including me versus Cody, where we literally beat the shit out of each other. You know how you were saying you think that, oh, there's sometimes like there has to be agreement, because some of those bumps are like, well, I think it's like that when you wrestle people that you know or that you like, you just like want to hit each other a little bit harder.
Go for it. If I have permission.
And DS, where can we find you at?
You can find me at DSShin on Instagram and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter, and apparently also on Grindr and Hinge. I don't know why, but I've been getting so many messages from Ring the Bell fans that are like, oh my god, DS! Which is definitely gonna stop me from sending any salacious photos on Grindr. So none of that anymore. None of that. And you can find all of us on our Discord channel, exclusive for our Patreon members. So come join in. We will see you next time. Bye!